In this video, we're going to focus on how we can create a data structure and then just only select segments of these data structures in here. Right now we have here two lines, and these two lines are from a data structure where there are, for example, 3 data sets. So we're going to figure out how we can just select a certain part of the data structure to create this line here and of course this line here. So let's explore this. In this video, we're going to focus on how to select segments of data structures to draw lines in Chartjs. Data structures are very powerful, and sometimes you want to refer only to a specific section of the data structure, and this keeps your code concise. So let's start to explore how we can do this. So the first thing that we need to do here is, of course, get our default code. So you can find the default code on chartjs3.com, getting started. For some reason, my Google Chrome gave this error, but it works fine on Firefox. So once you're on this page, scroll down here and copy this entire code. Once you copy this, and if you want to understand what this code all does, please check out this specific video that explains the JavaScript of the code. So we go in here and we just paste it all in there, and then what I want to do here, at least is for me, to cut out the title here, I'll just paste it in there, save this and refresh. So now we have a nice bar chart. I'm going to convert this into a line chart. That was the goal, a line chart. So we go in here, search for the type, say here line. So if we do this, we save that, and then what I want to do here is tension 0.4 and save that. There we are. So now we have a nice line chart. We have all these colors here. We will remove these later on. So what is really important here, because this is very useful, is as you can see here, imagine I want to add up another line here. We are very used to creating a data set here. We just put in like this, comma. And let's say this will be line, or the blue line. This could be blue line. And the other one is a red line here. Make this red line, and let's give it some default code. I'll just make this 9, 6, 3, oh, it should be number 3, 4.5, 6, let's say this is 6 as well, and this will be 18. If I save this, refresh, now we have 2 lines here. Of course, this kind of code like this is quite large. And maybe you might say, well, is there not a better way to do it? Well, with data structures, basically, there is. And data structures, in essence, is just a multi-array. It's a multi-dimensional array, meaning it's an array in an array. So what we're going to do here is just very simple. We're going to say a constant. We just give this a constant value. In this case, I'll just say data structure. And this data structure will be equal to, and then from here on, we put in here an array, indicating that this is an array. So we need to put in here a bracket. Brackets will indicate this is an array. So within here, we can basically, what we have all of this, move into here. So what we're going to do is we can just cut this out, this entire chunk of code. And we can even just, let's trim this down a bit, just to make it more readable. Remove the border color. We don't need the border color, or at least we need to only have one color, which would be the specific color that is the red one here. And same here story for this. We can remove here the brackets. No need for an array of background color. So we have this here. Beautiful. So what we could do here as well is for the blue one, exactly the same. We're going to remove the first one. And then here, this one as well, because this is the blue color here. And we do the same here. Let's put in this, remove that one. There we are. So once we did this here, and if we just save this now, we should see here now again, the colors matching correctly. We have here the blue, we have here the red line. So it looks very nice. So we have this here, we can even trim this down. So what I can do is here, I'm going to remove this, and just put in the options here. So if I do this, and I do this as well here, you will see, if I save this, I'll make sure you have a comma here. Refresh, it still works fine, because what happens now, if you use tension specifically on a data set, it will make only that specific data set with that certain tension line, or basically tension will make it the line elastic. So it will be not straight line, but it's more elastic like this. So now we apply this on every single line here. What I want to do now is basically just cut out all of this. We can just put it in here nicely. And then of course here we have another one. We put a comma here. I'm going to cut out the next one. And we can just put that all here. So once we did this, and now what we have to do is basically the following. We can just copy this data structure value and put it in here. So if I save this now, refresh, you can see here what is happening. Basically nothing, or visually nothing happens, but under the hood, or basically behind the scene, we have a lot of items here. So this is interesting, but maybe you say, well, hold on, I only want one single line here. So how would I get, for example, only one line out of it? Well, remember, a data structure is an array as well. So it's an array in an array, and this, because of this bracket here. So if you want to grab only the first one, all we need to do here is basically bracket indicates 0, which is this one here. So what we're going to do here now is, let's say data structure 0 will only select the red line. If I save this now, refresh, no, let's see what happened here, sorry. That is apparently not what I want, of course. So let me explain why. If we are going to get a single item here, we need to put a bracket in here. So this is a requirement. So put a bracket here. If we save this now and refresh, now it starts to show. So the reason why is because if we only grab this specific item, we don't have this bracket. So that would mean that Chartjs cannot find the data. The data here must be based on an array. So if it's not an array, it will not show a value here. This is very important. So that's why if you would only have one single value here, but you put this, let's cut this out and just say 10 here. And if I save this now, refresh, you can see it gives an error, or basically it doesn't show. It cannot understand what's going on. It expects a bracket here or an array value. So we need to put it in a bracket, and then the moment we do that, you can see now it starts to work. So let's undo this, put it back here. So once we have this, we could also just pinpoint the other line. Let's save this, refresh, and there you are. And of course, we could do here a lot more. Let's copy this, put a comma here, put in here, and then this one, we will have a tension, and this tension will override this tension here. So let's say tension here will be 0, meaning that it will be a straight line. If I save this and refresh, oh, why it doesn't work? Well, let's make this green, because we didn't specify the specific item. So I'm going to make it like that. We can change the colors, and then we have here, oh sorry, this is the one we want. We want number 2. So now if I refresh, you get this here. It is not yet green because, well, the answer is quite straightforward. You can put it all like this, but I want to copy this here. Replace this. Make sure that this is number 1, so now it's a solid green color, and this one here, you can just remove this just to make it all more concise. Save this, refresh. There you are. So now we have a green color, and as you can see here, this is being overruled because of this one here. And this is what we call specificity, meaning you're specifically pinpointed on this one, and this will overrule this. Very similar to CSS, although there are certain items that does not work like this. Why? I cannot say so far. However, this one does work as how it should be. So this is the way we can do it here, and let's put it back here into number 1. You will see here now you have the difference. There we are. Beautiful. And if we would copy this into another data set here, we could do it as well. You can just say comma. You do another one, which will be number 2. Well, if we do that, make sure we have this nicely organized like that. Save that, refresh, and there we are. So now we have like this, or let's make this one 0. You will see the difference in values. Beautiful. So this is the way how you can play with data sets or data structures, making them a bit more concise, and here basically just push them out or return these values just in the chart. So you will keep your chart code here, at least this part, more concise, because usually this is from your database, you have a structure for this. So maybe you might say, well, hold on, how do I build this? Well, let me show you a specific video that covers this specific item. That is this one here, how to convert arrays into data structures in Chartjs. This video explains how you get values, which is just like a single array, You have, let's say, multiple single arrays, and how can you convert them into a data structure like this? Highly recommend to watch this as well.